Tommy, you've always been a gin guy as long as
I like the martinis. Gin and tonics, not so much. I mean, okay, in the summer, sure, but I'm a martini guy, man.
Right.
And you talk about gin will just give you the worst hangovers ever. Of course, any booze will if you drink enough of it, but gin just kind of has that extra punch to your face.
Have you ever done? I think Jägermeister still might be the worst hangover I ever had.
I just did some here over the weekend with my son. Straight out of the bottle, out of the freezer.
Yep, that's the way. I did.
And I had some in my coffee Sunday morning too, because that's how we roll.
Oh God, no, not Jäg.
Yep.
Oh.
Now, I was that way with scotch for a few years. I couldn't drink it because I barfed on scotch so hard I popped out of contact.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Rock and Roll, the podcast, featuring Dr. Nick Redbone, Tom Nelson, and me,
Brock Johnson.
The show is brought to you by our good friends at
Power Plant Car Audio and Accessories on Kimberly Road, Twin Falls. PowerPlantWeb.com.
We kind of harmonized the.
That was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool.
That was like stereo.
You guys were just bringing it.
I'll tell you what.
I stole that from, was it Hotwire? Hotwire.com.
Yep, that was. Yep.
Oh wow,
it was Hotwire, but still very nice.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Hey,
you brought
awesome.
A-game. We've added to our set today. Brought some of our favorite props. Let's see. Okay, let's moving from Tom's side over. The phone made its debut on the new set last week.
Yes.
And that's the phone that has the switch on the side.
Yes.
Loud and off.
It's the hotline to what we don't know.
That's exactly right. We're gonna need a bigger phone. We have you got some safety goggles because remember. Safety first. It's always fun until someone loses an eye.
Losses.
Is that something that happens in the Pride of Jizai?
See? And there we go.
I knew that was coming in.
And there we go. You know what? Go ahead. We'll go ahead and leave it. We're fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's an inside joke that wasn't. Well, we thought it was funny.
It was pretty funny, but real awful too.
Yeah. Moving over to Brock's, we have the eggs, the pickled eggs. They look a little bit darker this week.
Yeah, and I don't think this can be considered mine. I think this is a group activity that will happen at some point.
I love the huge crack in the one.
Whoa. What group activity are you saying? Because there's no way that's ever getting near my mouth. Do you know how many times
I was
I've had
talking
to say
about your mouth?
That is
Whoa! Or any other orifice.
There goes my Friday.
Yep.
And it appears to be your favorite band is stocking keeping the eggs safe.
Yeah. We cleaned the garage last weekend. And as I've told my wife time and again, don't buy me presents. I buy what I need.
Right.
And what I want, I don't need.
Okay.
So but she always wants to buy me presents. And so I don't know when these were gifted to me, but when we were cleaning the garage together over the weekend, she said, "Oh, look, it's the Green Day figurines I bought you years ago."
Oh.
Were they still in the package?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Of course they were.
Still
wow.
boxed and everything.
You know, from the back it looks like in sync, but I can see what you're saying now if I get a side shot.
It could. I mean, they're kind of like a rock boy band in a way anymore. I mean, when the eyeliner came about, I think it was on the American Idiot tour. It just kind of went to hell.
Yeah. Well, but you know what? They're super pretty, and now they're making money.
Yeah,
good for them, getting paid. And over here on my side, I have a foam replica of Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and a bottle of the worst liquor I've ever tasted in my life. Now, the seal has been opened. There are two of us in this room that have tasted it, and I'll never taste it again.
No.
It's awful. It is a Chicago product. It is called Jepson's Malort. A listener gave it to me, and I've used it as a paperweight ever since. It is awful.
And and you guys keep trying to steer me away from it, and it's going to happen one of these days. I've got to do it. If you guys have... See, I got to do it too. If you guys did it, I got to do it too.
Hey, what if you know what? Since we're coming up on an anniversary show, we're coming up on 30. I mean, what? This is episode 28.
Sip it then?
No, there's no we. You will sip it.
Yeah, we already have.
We've already done it.
No, you want to.
No.
And I think you put it best earlier when you said it's like drinking liquor mixed with grass clippings.
Yeah, it's almost pine sol. It's so bad. So
We'll clean you right out.
Don't drink it. Don't say that. Friends, welcome to episode 28 of Rock and Roll, the podcast. Today's episode is... This one's kind of a downer, but it also, I think, is going to raise some questions about the future of rock and roll. We entered a decade, the 2020s are going to be like an apocalypse, like an extinction level event for some of the greatest rock acts of all time.
Except Keith Richards. He will still be here long after the rest of us.
Well, that's a given.
And extinction, not on the level of asteroids, but hemorrhoids.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Because that's what happens when you get older.
I deal with those already, and I'm not
Really?
I'm not that old, but I'm
sorry,
fat,
man.
and my diet is just awful.
Do you need a special pillow?
Hey, if anybody
Okay.
if anybody had under 10 minutes for the first butthole reference, you win.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Place your bets. Place your bets.
You bet. Like and subscribe.
The last time I had to go pick up my hemorrhoid medication, they asked me at the pharmacy. They said, "So he said because it's a topical, but." They looked
so
at
a
it,
suppository?
and she it's
Oh.
well it is, but I mean it's you gotta So she calls me over to the other window, and she said, "Hey, now this steroid is I guess it says on the package that it's for rectal use, and we just want to make sure we're giving you the right instructions." I said, "That's correct." I put it straight up the butt, and she didn't ask me any more questions.
Well, she shouldn't.
Tom talking about Brock's butthole.
Ooh.
But hey, we're on like 5 months of no friends. So
Oh my God. No new kids have moved into the neighborhood?
no.
Oh, gosh.
I imagine when the weather warms up, that
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's been Rock and Roll, the podcast.
for now, the freeway is plowed.
And I'll bet you anything, our sponsor just left. We love you, Blaine. Sorry.
So enough about my ass.
Oh boy, so much. So enough about your ass. So the apocalypse that I'm talking about is the fact that the classic rock artists, and this really is mostly applying to classic rock. There are some of them that are kind of blurring the line into the Gen X.
Yeah.
These classic rock acts, or country even, classic rock acts, the real leaders of that movement of the 70s and early 80s and late 60s are now in their 70s as of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These artists in another 10 years are in their 80s. Some of them in their late 80s.
It's amazing to me how good some of them still look, too.
Sure.
You notice that? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not talking Steven Tyler. He
Right.
looks like a melting candle.
He
I mean, if you look at Mick Jagger
I'm right
doesn't-
here.
I mean, you can tell that he's an older guy, but he
Right.
doesn't look nearly as old as he actually is.
Right. And Mick Jagger is 77, I believe.
Yeah.
I think all in the band are 77, but one who is like 75.
I would bet Ron Wood is probably the younger.
Charlie Watts is 80.
Yeah.
Okay, never
yeah.
mind. I'm full of shit.
Okay. No. I think
everyone else, so you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know that speaking of 80-year-old British drummers, Ringo Starr of the Beatles is 80 years old
Yeah.
Soon to be 81.
and putting out a record.
And-
Did
yeah.
you read that? He's putting
Yes.
out a record.
Yeah.
I've heard a little bit of it. You know, it's not bad.
Now let's think about this for a minute. If we've got Dave Gilmour from Pink Floyd is 74. So Nick Mason, the drummer, the other, he's got to be in his mid-70s. Roger Waters is probably 74 or 75. So we're facing the reality that in 10 years, we could live in a world where there are no remaining Beatles, no remaining Stones, no remaining Pink Floyd, and no remaining Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page is 77. Robert Plant is 74, I think, 73.
Yep, somewhere in there. Yeah.
What are we doing to replace rock stars?
From ashes to new.
That's
your
it,
point.
isn't
That's
it?
your point. Yeah.
I wish I wasn't making that point. Look, even right now, if we take the classic rockers and we move them out of the field, okay, the guys that are in their 70s, and we think about the guys that we're playing currently on active rock radio that are stars. Dave Grohl is in his 50s. The guys from Metallica are all, I know that James is 57?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably be around in another 10 years, but that puts Metallica in their 60s. That puts the Foo Fighters in their 60s. Now, I'm not saying there aren't young artists on the scene. There obviously are.
But how do you make a rock star anymore?
Exactly.
The rock star that was is no more.
Why? I think that's a great place to start this discussion.
If you go back to these classic rock guys that are getting older now when they're younger, I mean, this is the evolution of the music itself. And there was just more of them. And they were maybe arguably more prolific because of the environment that they were a part of, the culture.
Yep.
And it's just that stage of the evolution of rock and roll itself.
Yeah,
I think.
It's become so distilled. I think that's part of it.
I think another thing that has to do with it, and I think I talked about this maybe briefly on the last podcast, maybe it was on your nooner or something, but the fact that there's so much access now. Like if you go back even like 20 years, you go back. Sorry, I'm watching my microphone. If you go back 20 years, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no Instagram. The internet was a thing, but bands weren't doing anything. It was all controlled by record labels or fanboys.
Right.
So I think they initially tried to make something cool, giving their fans more access to them through social media and stuff like that. But now over time, it's the smoke and mirrors. Are no, you know what I'm trying to say?
Now, I do, and I think that's an interesting take. It's not that there's less of them, it's that we have humanized them.
Right.
Once upon a time, you're right. The rock magazines and rock radio and the labels themselves, they built these guys as gods and monsters.
One of the coolest things that can happen in any 80s movie is somebody getting a backstage pass to their favorite band.
Right.
Now, they're a dime a dozen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A backstage pass doesn't really necessarily mean anything. And like I've said on this podcast before, chances are a band you go to see or a band that we're spinning on the radio, we're making more money than they are.
Yeah.
I memean, that, a lot of the money has fallen out of the game, but you're right. We're not building these rock gods like Jimmy Page's and Keith Richards and the four guys in Metallica. Now it's hey, look, we're just like you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want my rock stars to be like me.
I think we have to put them back on a pedestal, but I think we've gone too far.
Now, okay.
How do you go back?
That's it. If they go extinct, is the age of the rock star over?
That remains to be seen. It's never going to be exactly the way it was,
right?
But I don't think anything is going to be completely dead. It's all cyclical, like we've said before. But I think the impact of these guys dropping off in this decade is going to be a bigger impact than it's going to be for the generation after us. I mean, who are they going to be all butthurt about? I mean, not as many people, I don't think, not as many artists.
Agreed. I mean, well, the rock stars are now they're on the pop side of things. I mean, there are enormous names that will continue to make enormous strides in the world of music. Bruno Mars is going to be around forever. He's crazy talented. He's not going anywhere. Billie Eilish she's not even out of her teens yet, and she's a complete game changer.
Right.
But as far as the material that we know, Ariana Grande, maybe the biggest star in the world right now, Taylor Swift right there with her. But if you look at our guitar bass drums, boy, we're running out of prospects. You know what I mean? Our draft picks aren't looking real strong right now.
Well, in active rock, I mean, you have Disturbed.
Sure.
They're going to be a big deal forever. You have Godsmack. You have Tool. You have, like you said, the Foo Fighters.
Right.
You have Green Day. Of course, I have to.
Sure.
But I mean, there's enough of them that will be around for a while. Now, the rock stars that are in their 20s right now, the Greta Van Fleets, the From Ashes to News.
Right.
I think those guys are probably older than we think. But what happens to those? I mean, are they being idolized by Gen Z like we idolize Foo Fighters?
Boy, I don't think there's enough emphasis on rock right now to say that that's the case. I mean, there's a handful of kids. My daughter is my youngest is a dyed in wool rocker.
Yeah.
I was taking her to work yesterday, and we were listening to Gojira. Dream like death metal out of France. She loved it. But for every one of her, there's 10 kids that think that whatever is playing on the new country station or the pop station is the music that they need to be focused on. Hip hop artists have become the rock stars. Country artists have become the rock stars. I think, though, it feels like maybe some of that's coming around. I've seen Dave Grohl and Corey Taylor from Slipknot say that maybe there's a renaissance in rock stars coming. What's her name? Billy Ray Cyrus's kid, Miley Cyrus. She's doing rock now, like strictly rock. She's got a rock band.
She's good.
And she's good.
I have not heard Miley rock.
She rocks.
I have a moral dilemma with that one, which is a conversation for another day.
Okay.
I mean, if you need to use your to get to stardom, I guess go for it. But really, it takes something away from your talent.
Now, would you?
I
say,
used my all the time to get where I'm at.
Would
You're
you
different.
Would you say
thank
the
you.
same about Madonna? Because
See, I didn't grow up with. I was just teetering on the edge. I mean,
Right.
like a virgin was 85.
okay, Madonna was there's a book out there called "Using Your to Get to the Top."
She's still showing her, by the way, and that should absolutely stop.
I'm uncomfortable with the rampant use of the word in the podcast today. I feel like it's created.
Should we bleep
It's
him?
created a weird energy.
We shouldn't bleep him, though. I mean,
No bleeping?
No bleeping, no.
Should
don't
we
know.
fart him?
Fart 'em.
Maybe fart
Fart
him.
him, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna fart 'em. The word will be replaced with fart noises.
Just, don't get me started on the George Carlin bit. That would have been great, huh?
The 7 forbidden
Yeah.
words. Blink-182
he's
wrote
like-
a song about those.
That's right, huh?
Yeah.
Because George is like, shouldn't even be on the list, man.
I agree.
Like and subscribe. Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah, we've really lost our
So
way.
yeah, we
Nick.
gotta. I gotta make sure of make a note of that time because that's a whole lot of to fart out.
Looks like your next 24 hours is occupied,
Oh,
right, man?
boy.
Be removing the.
I'm going to stop saying it because I just know.
Yeah, because this is gonna turn into a colossal.
It's going to
project.
turn into. It's going to be awful. It's gonna be awful.
I smell a 12?
No, that's
12 coming?
No, that's a blend
That
of
would be-
Jepson's Malort and fried pickled egg.
yeah. That's what you're
things.
smelling.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
know,
you're
one of
smelling.
those things has got a crack in it.
I see it, and it's a little more cracked this week than it
Yeah,
was last
what
week.
is going on in
swear to
there,
God,
man?
The eggs are cracking and they're getting a little darker each week. Pickled eggs. By the way, I found the brand. The brand is Amish Wedding Brand. Remember, if you're looking for pickled eggs, try Amish Wedding Brand. They're naturally good. Okay.
There's nothing natural about any of that.
No, that's an unnatural act. Pickling an egg. There's nothing
Don't do
natural
that.
about that.
Don't do that.
So, okay, so let's see. We left off with Miley Cyrus's boobs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think there are artists that, like we've said a million times on this podcast, there's always that new kid getting his first guitar and starting his first garage band. That's never going to stop. That
Yeah.
will always be somewhere on some level. But is radio paying enough attention to rock and
Yeah,
roll?
can they achieve the same level of success?
Right. I think that's the real question. Because it is the media part. It is the radio. It is the now Spotify and the streamers. It is YouTube. It is labels making rock stars. It's never been about, I mean, if they reacted well, if you bought records, then they would keep pushing that rock star.
Well, you had to play the game.
You had to play the game. Now you still have to play the game, but it costs more and you get less results.
One of our record promoters told me just to get a song today, just to get one single onto the active rock chart anywhere in the top 40, if you want to get into the top 40, is a $40,000 investment.
Wow.
That's just to get to 40.
Yeah.
And then you think about all the money that they have to pour into it. Look at, for example, the Architects right
Yep,
now.
yeah.
I can't even imagine the amount of money that's behind that.
Exactly.
Because they were nobodies in stateside. They
Right.
actually, that's a fun Google project. If you want to see some badass rock that has actually been around for a long time, go check out some of the older stuff from the Architects before they crossed the pond. So what, $40,000 to get into the top 40 and then all of the other money to get to the top. And you see active rock as a format.
Right.
And I don't believe that it's dying. You don't believe
No.
that it's dying. But when you have the heads of the industry saying, you know, I think Lord Rock is way more important than Disturbed Rock.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get to the top.
It really
Yeah,
is hard
yeah.
to fight that. But then you have to look at it when those bands go out on the road live. I think that's where you can still create the game yourself. If you're a kick-ass rock band, whether you've got backing or not from the players that be, you will eventually force their hand if you continue to draw 1,000, 2,000, 3,000
sure.
people to your shows, right? If you're a badass rock band on stage,
Yep.
eventually, build it and then they will come.
Yeah, you can't stop it, man.
Right. Yeah. Rock and roll has always had that effect on people, and live music has always had that effect. But I think, we've kind of meandered around. I don't think we will see the return of the rock god on the level that we've I don't think they'll ever be as big as the Beatles again. I don't think they'll ever be as big as Zeppelin again.
I think the next 2 years will be very defining for whatever genre takes off, because there are so many bands that are chomping at the bit to get back out there, and there are so many bands in rock that were right there on the edge of breaking, and then the pandemic shut everything down.
Yeah.
So you're going to see crowds at concerts like you have not seen in decades.
It's going to explode. Yeah.
And I think with that, if rock sees a resurgence, not necessarily in bands, but in fan base, we could easily get back to that place. But only time will tell that.
And really, if you want to go see, and, you know, I mean, obviously the concerts I've seen in my life have been far more rock shows than any other kind of show. But if you want to see a high energy, straight up explosion of fun, nothing beats a rock concert. Nothing. Yeah. I can't imagine, once again, maybe it's because I'm, you know, a 47-year-old dude, but I can't imagine going to a pop show and seeing the synchronized dancing and the costume changes and the lip syncing and think that that's more entertaining than watching a rock band go leave it all on the stage.
See, and
to each his own, I think, really, you know. I mean,
I've told stories of shows that I've gone to that were very pop. Taylor Swift, New Kids on the Block.
Right.
These, and I'm not going because I necessarily love the tunes. I mean, I like pop music more than the average.
You're going because your wife makes you.
Because my wife makes me. But those shows are so fun to watch because there's a different element of production that goes into them. It's one thing to watch Bad Flower get up and just blow the stage apart.
Right.
That's cool. It's another thing to see Taylor Swift and her army of crew with moving stages and you know, everything is perfectly synchronized. Yeah. I mean, there's two different things there.
With a rock show, I mean, I think a lot of it is just the experience in itself, because it's rock.
It's the
liquor, and it's the, do I dare say it? Okay, boobs. And, you know, we had to go there. But you know what I mean? You can go to I've been to jazz shows and have had the same, you're like, oh, this is awesome experience that I had at a rock show. But at rock shows, there's that element of it's rock. So it's like, it's a free for all.
It's a little more dangerous. It's a little more edgy.
You're going to let loose a little bit more. I mean, so I think that's the element.
There's no real rules that apply at a rock show.
Exactly.
I mean, there are,
should
but
not be.
And I'm wondering if that's going to be that'll be the shot in the arm that the country needs. You know, shot in the arms. It was a vaccination joke.
Hey, don't bring vaccination.
Look what I did.
I learned the hard way that nobody wants to hear about that.
Oh yeah, don't talk about it, because half the people will argue with you. America. Oh, listen, Robble, right up there, just above our heads.
Well, here's what happens. He stands in front of the balcony so that he can talk to the other one in the corner.
Yeah.
And what they do, and it's not like they've been in audio for 40 years. They don't realize that when you stand 5 feet from a big opening where another recording is taking place, it's important to shut the hell up.
It's super fantastic. We've got the Jim Henson Studios upstairs right now.
I have the same problem when using the bathroom, leaving the door open. Or I close it, but you walk in. You've walked in.
But it's
you
different.
both walked in. I mean,
we've both walked in.
I think that's more of an
I do that on purpose.
than it is an inconvenience.
It is an invitation for us to maybe someday catch him and the little Lutheran holding a service.
You're going to hell for that.
Is there any way you could throw throw something Lutheran on the back screen there?
Like a picture of Martin Luther?
Now, are you
careful?
Like the Martin Luther.
The Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King.
Yeah, if we think we offended him with the jab, let's be careful with the church thing, because the vaccination's one. If we go churchy, they might try to burn the building down.
Well, I was born and raised Lutheran, and so
then you guys can do it.
If I think Lutheran, the first thing I think of is tater tot hot dish, because the potlucks in the basement, man. That's what going to church was all about.
Then can we get a picture on the green screen behind us? Can just, you know, for just a moment, give us right there, right now, tater tot hot dish.
God, look how delicious all of that tater tot hot dish looks.
Crispy golden brown.
And it's not tater tot casserole. It's tater tot hot dish.
I can almost smell it.
Yeah. If you're going to bust out the word casserole, you're from like another state or another part of the country. Come on.
You're from Idaho.
Yeah, or just not the upper Midwest.
Yeah, you people have hot dish. You people also have Schlitz, the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Is that just an upper Midwest thing?
I think you can get Schlitz here, but it's not on all of the shelves.
We sure drank a lot of Schlitz.
I have no doubt.
Schlitz and Milwaukee's Best.
Ooh,
what about Old Milwaukee?
Because it's not Milwaukee's.
Did you ever do Old Milwaukee?
I've had Old Milwaukee.
I think
There
we
you
had
go.
Old
That's
Milwaukee.
flavor in a can right there.
Ooh, well, it's something in a can.
It was when you were 16 and you had to pull your $14 together to get enough beer for the weekend.
Right.
It's either Natty Light, it's Keystone if you're feeling classy, or Schlitz or Beast. Yeah,
Beast.
Or Schmidt. In my case, Schmidt.
Schmidt. I remember Schmidt. Red logo. It almost kind of looked like a Dr. Pepper can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of us mowed lawns. We bought Schmidt so we could all get screwed up.
Yep.
Oh God. Okay. As long as we've completely, are we done? We're done talking about the podcast. I think kind of blown.
Yeah, I think
It's dead.
So hey, yeah, we're gonna lose a bunch of rock stars. They're all gonna die, and we don't.
and we're not making any new
after
ones.
that. Yeah.
We hope that we're making some new ones. Like
So now
subscribe.
that that's out of the way.
You know what I hate?
What's that?
I hate. Look, in your commercial snack mixes, you like your Chex Mix, you get the stuff, the bulk stuff you get at Winco. You know what I hate? I hate it when they jam them full of pretzels and peanuts. That's bullshit. If I want pretzels and peanuts, I'll go buy pretzels and peanuts.
Exactly.
Pretzels are stupid, especially.
Oh my God, they're just filler. They're cheap.
They can't make up their mind.
filler.
Are they going to be twisty? Are they going to be straight? Are they going to be big? Are they going to be small? Come on.
And you get a bag like let's talk about Gardettos for a minute. What are we into the Gardettos for? Everything but the pretzels.
Rye crisps.
The rye things.
Crisps. But at least they were smart enough because now they have Gardetto's special request.
Tom's taking a phone call on the snack line.
Hi. Well, hi, Blaine.
Oh, it's Blaine from the power plant.
Hey, Blaine.
No, you don't want to do that, man.
No.
Just think about it.
Please don't pull your sponsorship. Blaine.
Okay.
We've taken this so far, Blaine.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll make you a hot dish. Okay.
Oh.
Tater tot.
He's cool.
Tater. He's good.
Power plant.
The clap has to.
The clap is what makes it good.
I like it.
Without the clap, all it is pretzels and peanuts.
There's nothing like the clap.
I'm the one. The clap is adding the Chex Mix.
There's nothing like the clap.
There's nothing like the clap. This show turned into hot garbage so fast.
It turned into hot dish.
For all of our Lutheran friends out there, please feel free to enjoy.
There's this. You want the best snack mix on the market.
Lay it on me.
The brand is Cars. I think Karrs. You can find it occasionally at Winco.
Okay.
Now, 90% of the time, you're going to find the sweet and salty mix, which, no.
Right.
But the sweet and spicy mix is hot shit.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But is it not? But once again, am I fighting through pretzels and peanuts to get to the good pieces?
No, every bite, it's like it's a perfect balance.
Okay. Remember, the perfect balance is no pretzels and no peanuts.
There's no pretzels.
Okay. So what's actually in it, man?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. You've just seen it.
He only buys it when he's high.
There's like there's some of those Asian little bean-looking things.
Okay, so like wasabi peas?
There's wasabi peas. Yeah.
Okay, I like those.
There
I put them in
are
my salads.
Not in my snacks.
These sweet little nut ball things.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell they're called.
Wasn't
They're
that
just
your
delicious.
nickname in high school, Tom?
It was nut
Sweet
ball.
little nut ball?
Here comes the little Lutheran with those little sweet little nut balls. He's got it going on. Oh, wow. Look what we did.
Nutballs Nelson, they call it.
Yeah, that's right.
What time is it?
Look what we did.
I gotta go. I got a thing.
Engine room, where the hell's my drink? Oh, it's right there.
Well, the show's falling apart once again, guys.
We did our best.
What's in your mouth?
Very cool.
Oh, God, I thought it was one of
Oh.
the eggs for a minute. I thought, how did you get that
Whoa.
shit open while I wasn't looking? Okay, good.
Damn.
Don't put drummers in your mouth. Everybody knows that. You'll get an infection.
They're nasty.
They really are.
Is this done?
I think so.
Are we over?
How
I think we're
yeah.
done.
Oh gosh, we destroyed this one. Okay, so we're gonna run out of Rockstars. It's gonna be a super sad decade. Snack mix with peanuts and pretzels is bullshit. And remember, if you say it turns into a fart noise. Don't forget that one.
I won't.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
All right, you bet. You're very welcome. I guess that's it. Big thanks to our sponsor. We love you, Blaine. Please, Blaine and Power Plant, please don't give up on us.
Yeah, we almost lost him today.
Yeah.
real
Thank
close.
God for the tater tot.
Saved
hot
by
dish.
the hot dish, man.
Yeah, that's what did it. Thank you, power of Lutheran God.
Dishes?
Do you ever do tuna hot dish?
No.
You're
My
luckier
name's-
man than I was.
Please like and subscribe. Share with a friend, share with an enemy, share with a loved one, but please share it with somebody. Because for God's sakes, we're We're falling apart here, and we need all the help.
Did
we
you do
can
the
get.
cottage cheese and the Jello?
My name's
lime-
Dr.
yeah.
Nick Redbone. That's Brock Johnson. That's
They put
Tom Nelson.
marshmallows.
Please
Yeah.
tip your waitress. Peace, love, and rock and roll. We're out of here. Oh God. Oh. Okay, hold on. Freeze frame. Ready? Let's do the freeze frame.
Okay.
Okay. So, peace, love.
So it's not done yet?
No. We'll do it. We'll do it done now when we freeze frame.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
peace, love, and rock and roll. We're out of here.